Hello, healthy you. You've started doing all the things. You're taking your supplements, you've really invested in eating healthier foods, you're moving your body, perhaps you're meditating. You are doing all of the things that are putting you on track to be the healthiest version of you. Before long, you're going to be feeling like $1,000,000. The one area that you might not have given any focus to as of yet, though, is one that's actually really, really important. In fact, some specialists are even saying that the topic of sleep is the single biggest contributing factor to a healthier lifestyle. So, have you given any consideration to how you sleep? Could you sleep better? There are a lot of questions surrounding sleep. A lot of people would love to have better quality sleep. So, let's dive into some of those options that we have. So, some of the key questions that surround sleep are: why is sleep so important? What happens when we sleep? How long should I actually be sleeping? And how can I get better quality sleep? So let's tackle a few of these things. So sleep is really important. Number one, if you're not getting enough sleep, you run the risk of gaining weight. It's true. So there was a study done. It was a 5-day study. They took 16 people and allowed those 16 people to have 5 hours of sleep. Those people, on average, gained, just in that short little window of time, the 5 days that they were running the study, gained 1.8 pounds just because they were sleep deprived. Nothing else changed in their regular diet. So it's a very convincing testimonial, but it's also worth noting that on a bigger scale, those people who are not getting adequate sleep, particularly kids, they are 89% more likely to experience obesity in their future, and 55% of adults 55%, adults are 55% more likely to experience obesity as well. So these are risk factors you just don't want to invest in, right? When it just boils down to having a better night's sleep. Your appetite is also, it's going to change quite a bit if you're not sleeping properly, because sleep is really linked to two hormones in the body, and those hormones are responsible for our hunger responses. So one of them is ghrelin, the other one is leptin. So ghrelin is the hormone that gets released in the stomach, and what it does is it signals the brain to say basically that you're hungry, and this typically happens when the stomach is empty. Leptin is a hormone that gets released in the fat cells, and this is kind of like an appetite. This is what suppresses hunger, and it gets released to signal to the brain that it is full. What happens when you don't sleep is that those two get really mixed up. You end up producing more ghrelin. So if you've ever extended your bedtime, you'll notice that you start feeling hungry. It's because the hormone ghrelin is increasing in your body, and leptin is actually being lessened in the body. So sleep is extremely important when it comes to controlling appetite. Next, sleep is important because it affects all of the functions of our frontal lobe in our brain. And this is the area where we make our most important decisions. So to get in a car and drive, for example, how many times have you guys read stories where someone was sleep deprived and unfortunately experienced a motor vehicle accident? Sometimes shift workers are exposed to long shifts, and they're not great at making decisions afterwards. Decisions like they could be to get behind a wheel, I mentioned that one already, or to eat properly. We tend to make, when we're sleep deprived, we tend to make bad decisions about the food that we're going to eat. We tend to go for junk food, which is something that we do not want to do. Or if you're sleep deprived, have you ever heard that voice in your head saying, just don't have this discussion right now? Go to bed, sleep on it, talk about this when I'm feeling fresh. That is a really important thing to note. Listen to your intuition on that. Get the rest before you decide to have that discussion. Your frontal lobe needs its rest. Sleep deprivation can also cause the cells in your body to actually become insulin resistant. So you can see where sleep is a contributing factor in diabetes. Diabetes is one of the nation's greatest health crises right now. Additionally, when it comes to disease, there are the people who are not getting enough sleep are more prone to increasing inflammation in the body, and that can be linked to things like chronic bowel disorder. It can lead to all kinds of issues, disease in the body. Inflammation is a direct link to disease, right? And then the one that really stands out to me in terms of mental health, which is where our society is really starting to take note, it's worth sharing with you now that 90% of the people who experience depressed feelings, who are feeling depression, have indicated that they are not getting quality sleep. 90%. So imagine if we could support in that sense by offering simple tools for better night's sleep. So just to recap, sleep is related to learning and memory, metabolism and weight, safety, making decisions. We talked about our frontal lobe. It affects our mood, affects cardiovascular health, and affects all disease, basically. So have you ever wondered if you're getting enough sleep? I think you can kind of tell because your body will give you all of the proper messaging, but the National Sleep Institute does release information on this, and I wanted to share it with you guys. It says that preschool age children should be getting 11 to 12 hours, school age children at least 10 hours, teenagers 9 to 10 hours, and adults that are 18 plus, and that includes the elderly, should also be getting 9 to 10 hours. So ask yourself whether or not you fall into that category, and perhaps a simple shift in the way you're living your life, which we're going to talk about next, can support you in getting more sleep in your life. So let's talk about a few tips, a few pro tips first, and then we'll dive into a few more in just a moment that are kind of related to the way we have all been living our lives, integrating supplements and essential oils and, really taking advantage of these natural solutions that we have in our home. So the first one I'm going to recommend to you is creating a sleep schedule. This is really important. So I know a lot of times, especially in my younger days, I used to think that I could stay up late and then catch up another time, catch up on my sleep on the weekend. And it just simply doesn't work like that. Your body needs to be on a regular sleep schedule. So, as difficult as it may be for you, it's important to kind of decide when bedtime's going to be and when your time to rise is going to be. You'll know when it's time to go to bed because that is the time when your body and your mind naturally start getting tired. So take note of that and go to bed. Now, your rising time should be when you are able to wake up naturally without an alarm clock. So if you have to wake up with an alarm, the ideal way to create your sleep schedule is just start going to bed 15 minutes earlier until you get to the point where your bedtime and your waking time are really working for you. You should feel tired when it's time to go to bed, and you should be ready to wake up. And that is without an alarm clock in the mornings. It's something that takes a little bit of tweaking, but once you've got it nailed down, you're going to be very glad you understand your own personal sleep schedule. Next, there's a few pretty obvious ones, but I'm going to call them out anyways because perhaps there's people in your lives that you can share these with. Don't drink alcohol close to bedtime. Cut out caffeine. For some people, caffeine does not wear off. They say that it typically wears off in about 12 hours for people, but that's not true for everyone. So those lingering effects, those stimulant effects, could still be affecting you when you're trying to go to bed. And for those of us who still indulge in an afternoon coffee, this can really play a role and mess around with your sleep schedule. So try to avoid caffeine, particularly late in the day. Fewer liquids at night. And the big one in our home, and should be in your home as well, is turn off devices at least 1 hour, but preferably 90 minutes before you're going to bed. And here's why. The light that is associated with TVs, your phones, your computers, whatever it is that you have your eyes locked on, that light is emitting, the light that it's emitting is affecting the melatonin in your brain. And melatonin, as we know, is supportive of our sleep cycle. If that's being impacted by the light on our devices, then what is happening is it is not allowing us to shut our brains down the way we need to get a good quality night's sleep. Same is true if you have gotten into the habit of using your phone as your alarm clock, or falling asleep by putting a timer on your TV. I would encourage you now to reconsider some of those things that you do. Completely turning off the TV and all devices at least 1 hour before bedtime will really allow you to shut down properly and fall into a deeper sleep quicker and stay asleep. This is the beauty of it. So keep your phone out of the bedroom. Don't use the TV at night, particularly in your bedroom, at least that 1 hour before bedtime. So some of the great things about being involved with doTERRA allow us to dabble in some of the more incredible tools that are available to us from our Natural Solutions Kit, and that's our oils and our diffusers. So I wanted to share a few really great bedtime tips with you so that you guys can start implementing these as you decide what your own personal sleep schedule is, and you decide, how you're going to create the perfect sleep environment for yourself. Because my recommendation would be that you have a dark, cool room. If you're someone that likes sound in the room, you might want to invest in something that creates white noise. So there are lots of great sound machines out there that you can invest in. But the great thing about our diffusers is that the sound of the diffuser is also very relaxing on the body. So obviously we're going to use our diffusers when we head to bed at night, and aromatically we'll be experiencing our oils through our diffusers. But as a bonus, the diffuser itself is creating some white noise for us to be able to fall into sleep a lot quicker. So it's another great reason to put your diffuser into use. I'm just quickly checking my list here. I don't want to miss any of the things that you can do to have a great night's sleep. We talked about the diffuser. Have you also considered breathing exercises? This is something really simple. This was introduced to me a number of years ago by my naturopath, and at first I didn't think that it would have any impact whatsoever, but I was very pleasantly surprised to learn that breathing techniques, when they're implemented properly when you're heading to bed, can have a really profound effect on settling your central nervous system down. So if you've never tried this before, I want you to Google alternate nostril breathing. Or you can just quickly watch. Basically what you're going to do, folks, is you're going to block one of your nostrils, breathe in, breathe out, switch, breathe in, breathe out. And you keep doing that. It gives your brain a focal point. You're focusing on your breath. If you're someone who practices yoga, you know that focusing on the breath is something that will bring you into a very relaxed state very quickly, and it'll help keep your body settled for a long period of time. Alternate nostril breathing. Another great tip that I could share with you is there are several key pressure points in your ears, and you can really provide yourself with a lot of relaxation by simply manipulating your ears when you head to bed at night. So, pro tip here, guys, for all the doTERRA lovers out there, and I know that's you, take your lavender, put a drop of lavender on your index finger and your thumb, just one drop of lavender, and massage it on your ears. You're activating all of those pressure points, creating a tremendous amount of relief in the body. You don't have to press very hard. It's kind of like a rubbing motion, okay? And you want to do that right down to the lobe, right to the tip, and do that as many times as you wish. what you will notice is extreme relaxation right away. Allow that lavender to absorb. You'll be breathing it in aromatically, relaxing your body by manipulating the nerve endings in the ears. You can also do this on your feet, a gentle foot massage using either your lavender or your frankincense or something that puts your body at ease. So we can make a lot of recommendations with our essential oils, but it's important for you to use the oil that you really resonate with. So if it's vetiver or cedarwood, or cypress or breathe or serenity, these are all beautiful oils that I have heard and I've used myself, and I've heard other people using in their sleep routine. I hope that you will take advantage and experiment and find the blend or the combination that really works for you. So a massage on the feet, massage on the ear. You've got your oils in your diffuser. I'm also going to encourage you to consider something that you might not already be implementing in your life, and that is mantra. Mantra is really simple. It's practical. It's something that you can have with you at your disposal wherever you go. And it's always great to have tools that you can dig out whenever you need to, and share with other people. So if you have a child who's struggling with sleep, a lot of what I'm recommending is something that can be easily taught to your child. Teach them how to massage the ear. Teach them how to massage their feet using essential oils. Teach them to use their diffusers. You know, get them using their oils. The benefits are endless, as I know you're discovering. But mantra is a really interesting thing, and why it's useful to you, particularly as you're trying to go to sleep, is it gives the brain a focal point so that you stop thinking about all of the things that are likely preventing you from falling asleep. It gives you think of it, the point on a needle, if you will. It gives your brain an opportunity to really zero in on the head of that needle and allows the rest of your body to settle into that peacefulness that you need to be able to fall asleep and then stay asleep. So a few mantras that I'm going to share with you. Write down the ones that resonate with you or create your own. Maybe talk with your child if you're doing this with your children, or write down a few simple ideas for yourself. But I'll give you a few to get started. Here are 10 beautiful mantras that you can use to help guide yourself into sleep at night. First, my mind is calm and my body is relaxed. I am at peace. I am calm and my body is still. I welcome sleep into my being. Let it be. I am becoming more relaxed with every breath. Around me and within me, I find stillness. I am grateful for this time to rest. I choose peace. Relax, release, rest. So if any of those mantras resonate with you, I encourage you to implement them. You can whisper them to yourself. You can think of them. You don't even have to say them out loud. But if you choose to, what you'll find is that will help guide you into a better night's sleep much more quickly. Further to the topic on sleep, guys, I want to make sure that you have an opportunity to try something for sleep that is superbly relaxing, and that is meditation. In my next video, I'm going to share with you a sleep meditation that I myself have used. I've used this with my daughter, and I hope that it is something that will help you going forward. So there are a lot of things that you can do a lot of things that you can incorporate into your daily life that don't cost a lot of money, that you probably already have in your home, like your essential oils and your diffusers. I know you're already using your supplements, and don't get off that routine of using your supplements, because you know what? They have all of the food nutrition as well as the benefits of taking the essential oils internally that support your body in achieving homeostasis, therefore allowing your body to sleep when it needs to sleep. These supplements go way beyond the description on the packaging, and your sleep will definitely be the beneficiary of using the Lifelong Vitality supplements. Using Terrazyme and the PB Assist is certainly going to help your sleep in terms of supporting your digestive system. So your body isn't working to digest the food you've consumed, therefore allowing you to sleep at night. In terms of a few other last minute tips before we get into the meditation video, make sure if you have an opportunity to open your blinds in the morning and let in the natural light. That is going to help with your circadian rhythms. Your body will soon become very aware of when it is meant to be awake and when it should be going to sleep. So darkness at bedtime, which is why I described creating an environment that is cool and dark and supportive of nighttime sleep. And then in the morning, continuing on that path of encouraging sleep, you want to make sure that you're exposing yourself to natural light. The natural rhythms in your body really require the exposure to natural light, and then, of course, the darkness at the end of the day. The breathing exercises, the mantras, but using your diffusers and making sure that you're getting your essential oils into all aspects, breathing it in, using it topically, and then, of course, with your supplements or however you choose to use your essential oils internally will all support a great night's sleep. So I hope to each of you that you've learned a little bit here, and I hope to each of you who aren't currently sleeping 9 or 10 hours at night, I hope that you start right away with your sleep schedule and you implement some of these tips so you can have a better night's sleep tonight.